Miles. Hey, all you sharp pins and needles. Welcome back. And a big hello to Donat Monst. Thanks for watching and for the thumbs up. I decided that I would most certainly make this video because I spent an awful lot of time writing out this beautiful little explanation to you, and it might just get buried in the comments. And it seems like I've been getting some viewers now. Like, some of the videos have 60 views on them and stuff, so it's like, ooh. So I don't know, maybe some people are watching them over and over again, actually learning something, and other people are just listening for the flutes. I don't know. But anyway, sewing the unenlarged version of the pattern will only work well if good sewing practices are followed and the pieces are sewn on a serger. Yeah, so back to these patterns that I talked about the other day briefly when I was really supposed to be talking about the ironing board. So here is the original pattern. I'm just picking over to the page. This is version 3 that has the note to make it larger, and this one just was like that. So this is actually the copy that I recopied it because I was using this one over and over again, and it was getting a little shaved off in places. So I printed this one out, and that's when, yeah, they're the same, pretty much the same. I don't know, this one, it's slightly different. So, but it's so close, really. What did I want to talk about? Really, there was, when you're sewing with the serger, you get a lot more confidence in your seams. They're going to be thinner. You're not going to be wasting so much space. If you're sewing these things on a regular sewing machine, you're going to cut out these pieces, but instead of having this cool little serged edge to finish the seam, on the regular sewing machine, you actually have to fold that over and make the piece smaller. And the same thing goes for the mouthpieces. You gotta fold this part over and make it smaller. And that usually involves going to the ironing board. And when you're a beginner, they don't always want to use the ironing board. They think, nah, I can do this, and you can do this. But sometimes, you know, you're trying to make something that's going to make a beautiful pocket on somebody's face, and that 1/4 of an inch means a lot on a face. You know, you can get away with 1/4 of an inch, 3/8 of an inch in other places sometimes, but you know, when you're trying to just cover someone's face. Yes, they also don't pre-wash or shrink their fabric. Yes, it looks beautiful off the bolt, but folks, it's going to shrink. It's just gonna shrink. I know you don't want to wash it and dry it, but this is seriously starting any work of art. It means you need to prepare yourself for the best and expect the worst. Because we're not just sewing here, ladies and gentlemen. We are sculpting pretty little pockets for people's faces. Yeah. This might turn into the video where I show you how to really pin these things together nice. So yeah, what else? They don't brother wash, they don't iron well. You gotta iron, because then you're just, after you wash it and shrink it, then the fabric's all like, oh my gosh, I'm all like, whoa, wrinkly. And you have to be like, nah, I got you, fam. And you flatten them back out again, because, you know, there's a big difference between sewing something that looks like this when it's all disorganized. And sewing this one that's actually been ironed a little bit. See, this will it just makes the pieces easier to fit together. And oh, let me show you something with this when I'm pinning it together. Since I don't do this folding and pressing thing, that means that I'm technically winding up with extra fabric on this piece because I'm not folding it away, and when I run it through the serger to do these edges, I'm only shaving off the tiniest little bit. And this bag is full of the tiniest little bits, and this is all just from masks. I swear to you people, this is all just from masks. There's got to be like 3 or 4 pounds of just scraps, and they're all, you know what, maybe, what is that, 1/4 of an inch, a couple of millimeters. That one's actually kind of big. Let's see how big that one is. 5 millimeters. Well, sometimes you got to cut off the backs, and because since I don't make the pieces smaller by hemming ahead of time, when I pin them together, I am going to wind up with some extra here. But what's cool about that extra is when you're actually pinning, that extra is very handy, and just know that you're going to cut it off anyway. So the first part of being able to pin stuff together super awesomely is having your tailor's ham. There was a blog post that I learned this from, and I'll put it in the description. There's also directions on how to make a sausage, and it's a super fun project. And guess what? Scraps. You're gonna, look how many, I could probably make at least 1.5 of these ham. Oh, I could probably make a ham and a sausage out of this pound or gallon-sized bag full of scraps. Anyway, this is only half of the tool. I need to go grab the other half because I was hiding it from you. This is a piece of pottery that I made in 2010. Couldn't sell it for $25, but I'm really glad because it's absolutely priceless to me now. This ham goes in there. Now, you don't have to have this fancy piece of ceramics because you're not going to get one like it, because this is the only one like it in the world. So, this ham, vertically, you now have an instant pocket for your face protector and dress form. So I hope you can see the table here. I'd like to put this on the table where you can see it. And I think I may have the camera angled up a little high. Let's see. Yeah, it's a little high. Okay. Not only does this technique let you do it while sitting in front of a television or maybe in front of your YouTube videos, it's a second pair of hands, and you use less pins and you get a better fit. First I need some pins. Here's some pins. And I will need a face mask that's already been grouped into its lovely grouping of groupings. I've started, all of my masks now have a double mouth section. And after you make your ham, then you'll have this beautiful curve. And to do the pinning, you put the mask down with the right side facing up and the nose pointing you. Now you take your face piece and hold it with the nose pointing towards you, and the right sides go together. Wash these when you first get them, because my hands are clean. I have the hands sanitizer made by my lovely neighbor. I'm not sure how much she wants me to say her name. So yes, you massage it on, so now it fits. It's like, oh, look at that. It's a pretty little pocket for someone's face. It's like you're stroking in their face. Okay, let me move some of this other stuff out of the way so that you can see the bottom where I'm actually going to be working. So many copies. So many copies. Okay, that'll be good. That'll protect my counter. My countertop table, that is. Alright, so here we go. I promise this goes a little faster when you're not talking and trying to show people how to do this. So yeah, here we go. We know what shape we're doing here. So this needs to go back here. And now if you've made your lovely Tailor's ham out of this fabulous old denim jeans material, it's like practically, it holds the piece of fabric in place for you. And you can now pull this down and go, oh look at that. Look how neat that is. Pins. So now you only need to put a pin here, right on the serging line. And when you're pulling on this, all you really care about is making sure that, you know, we want to just make sure that we save as much of the actual pretty cover and just line up the other piece of fabric behind it. Okay. And since you're going to be doing it in front of the TV, you're going to want to have some space to spread them out. So I have a little table. I was using a piece of board that I need a new shelf for my pantry to hold all my jam. And I took a shelf out. So now I have even less shelves to store my jam on. But these masks are now my jam. So I guess it's appropriate? I don't know. Anyway. Here we go to the other side. Little dusty. Dusters. Sergers make a lot of dust. It's good to have these. They're nice. Flop it down. I heard a pin drop. There it is. My scarf was getting in the way. How many of you can tell me who designed this scarf? I wonder how many. Okay, so then there we go. Yeah, we've got those two, that one. See, look, all right, here's where you might want to be like, all right, what am I doing wrong here? See, the other side lined up nice, and this one's kind of like, look, that one's kind of, I didn't pin that one quite so nice. So let's just, maybe if I do it this way so you can see what exactly I'm doing. It's a lot easier to do when it's right in front of your face. But if it's right in front of my face, then it's not right in front of your face. So far we've only got 3 pins in it. And with my other method of doing this, it was taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 at least, 9 if I was stacking them to do later. So it makes my pin population last a bit longer too, which is nice. So this is nice because you don't have to fiddle and fold. It's just like you're naturally letting the beautiful fabric mold to something that remotely resembles a face, you know, because even if, because yeah, once you put it on real nice and tight, these seams are nice and tight and held in place. So all you got to do to stack them up is just kind of pinch it by the nose and pick them up. And then you have a beautiful little pocket that's waiting to go on to the serger. And then under the iron. And then under the regular sewing machine again. And by that point, I think they're about done. Cool, I have another one pinned that I can sew together, but I also have a lot of things and edges that I need to serge. So, I hope you've enjoyed this little new tutorial. I actually had a little bit of a breakdown the other day, and I kind of recorded myself for 40 minutes doing a lot of karaoke. Yeah, I had some music playing in the background and I was kind of singing, which I don't usually do, except when I'm nervous and whatever. But you guys probably don't want to see 40 minutes of me singing, so I might just, I have to watch it before I would post that. Yeah. Good luck, everybody. Keep making the masks. Making me proud.